Kathie Lee Gifford had something to get off her chest.
The FBI called my husband and they said, Mr. Gifford, we have a problem and he's coming to get your wife.
You rarely, if ever, hear Kathie Lee talk politics, but she recently shared a couple of stories about Donald Trump from back in the 90s that she had kept to herself for decades.
Donald saved my life, saved my daughter's life, and if I called him today, would save it again.
And today, we're telling you all about it. So here we go.
And for all these years, Sage, that's what I've done. You've never heard me say a thing about politics, ever.
No.
And now I'm ready to. I need to be very honest about the fact, years ago, 31 years ago, my daughter was 6 weeks old, Cassidy. She's now 31 years old. And I was supposed to be going to the Miss America pageant. The FBI called my husband and they said, Mr. Gifford, we have a problem. There's this guy, this very, very bad human being, was a psychopathic murderer and a rapist and murderer, and he's coming to get your wife. But he said, we would like you, Mr. Gifford, to just keep your schedule and have your wife keep her schedule because this guy, we don't want him to know that we're on to him. And Frank said, I'm going to make one call. I will not agree to that until I make one call. And he called Donald. He called Donald. And Donald said, this is why I will love this man for my whole life. He said, Frank, don't you worry about it. I've got your girls.
According to a piece from the Orlando Sentinel, released in 1993, the police and the FBI were after a stalker after he assaulted his aunt, stole about $1,500, and fled in her car. The reason he chose to go after Kathie Lee is that she had a lot of money. There is another reason behind his obsession that we're going to get to in a minute, but keep in mind when all this was happening, Gifford was preparing to host the Miss America pageant, meaning her whereabouts weren't exactly going to be difficult to figure out. But the way Trump reacted may have played a role in protecting her, while Kathie Lee had absolutely no idea what he was doing at the time.
And next day, Donald, I didn't know anything. Donald calls me and he goes, Kathie, I'm sending my helicopter for you.
Oh my goodness.
I said, Donald, why? He said, because you've had a baby. I said, Donald, women have babies every day.
Yeah.
It's no big deal, thank you. But it's no big deal. He goes, no, congratulations, so happy for you. Sending my baby, my helicopter for you and your baby and your nanny. And I said, Donald, you tried to talk Donald out of something.
Yeah.
But that day he sent his
helicopter
for me. And when I landed,
you're not driving to Atlantic City, so you're flying there
I'm flying
instead.
on his helicopter. And when I arrive in Atlantic City, there are four of his
like security.
Oh, major. I mean, these guys are major. And they're, Mrs. Gifford, Mr. Trump wants you to know that we're here for you. And I didn't know what they were talking about. First of all, I just had a baby. You got all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yes, all kinds.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on.
One fascinating detail is how many stories there are of Trump going out of his way to provide his aircraft when someone needed help. In one case, a young boy was suffering from a rare breathing illness that doctors couldn't properly diagnose, and his family needed to get him from LA to New York for specialized treatment. The problem was, no commercial airline would take him because of all the medical equipment required to keep him alive during the flight. His family eventually reached out to Trump, and he sent his private Boeing 727 to help. The boy, his parents, and the medical team caring for him were flown across the country so he could receive some treatment. That's one Trump story you've probably never heard before.
All week long, more and more people, every day, more and more guys, until the very end. And it was Saturday, and that's the only day that we had off, because that was the day of the pageant. And that's the only day that we had nothing to do except get ready for it. I went down to get I just want to read the newspapers, be a normal person, And it says, Daily News, Kathie Lee Gifford, death threat. Kathie Lee Gifford, death threat. I went, what? And I read it, and I went, oh, I'm kind of interested in that story.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit interested in that. And I got in touch with the people that I needed to, and they said, Mrs. Gifford, do you want to not do this, not do the performance? And I said, are you? I used some
Good.
language.
Yes.
Hell no. I'm cleaning it up. Hell no. Nobody's going to make me afraid. Nobody's going to. Then I understood everything. I understood what Donald had done. I understood what Frank had done to try to say, not be afraid.
The FBI eventually arrested the stalker, but apparently that didn't end his obsession. He reportedly continued sending Kathie Lee letters from jail, and according to police, he once asked the devil for guidance on how to make Gifford his wife and the mother of his child. Pretty disturbing stuff. But the fact that we're only hearing Kathie Lee tell this story decades later, I think it says a lot. You'll notice Trump never brought it up himself either, and the same goes for plenty of other stories about him helping people over the years. Even if the media knew about them, there isn't much incentive to highlight that side of him. They'd rather talk about the reflecting pool. Kathie Lee had another Trump story to share, and this one takes us to his early days in New York.
I remember the first time I moved to New York, 1982, to do Good Morning America. And the big thing, the big story in the newspapers was, about the what was it? The Wollman Rink, and nobody could get it fixed. Nobody could get Wollman Rink fixed for months and months, and all of a sudden I'd never heard of him before. Who is this man? And all of a sudden he shows up in all the papers and everything, and he's going, "Let me fix it. People, just give it to me. I don't want any money for it. I don't this. I'll get it done on time. I'll get it done before, I'll get it done. I'll get it freaking done."
Yes.
Within weeks, he had it done.
Oh.
He had it done. And that's the first time I thought to myself, oh my God, this man fixes things.
Oh, yes.
He fixes things. He didn't want any money. He hasn't taken a penny for anything he's done for our country.
I mean, to be honest, the man really hasn't changed. The city spent years and millions of dollars trying to fix the rink. Then Trump got the contract and finished the job ahead of schedule and under budget. He actually tells the story in The Art of the Deal and openly admits hiring a Canadian firm, writing, "Since I knew absolutely nothing about building rinks, I set out to find the best skating rink builder that I could." That's the go-getter mentality he had back then, and I think it's the same mindset he brings today. Frankly, that's exactly the kind of approach you want from a president. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, you heard it here at the Dais.